Thank you so much for joining in, Oscar Blue, live right here from Jerusalem, from Israel. On the background, you can see the beautiful city of Israel. Tonight, it is 12:20 at night. It is the 16th of August of the year 2024. Long day. I don't even know what time it is on the West Coast and on the East Coast time. Welcome, everybody, for this broadcast as we are in Jerusalem. Tomorrow, we're going to have a really interesting day with the great Chuck Holton. We're going to go around and so a couple of activities that they're really important for you guys to know, a couple of stories that are really important for you guys to know. We are going to be live also hitting the network with Real America's Voice News. Today, we were in the morning show. We're going to be with Grant Stinchfield, and also we're going to be with several broadcasters and several presenters from Real America's Voice News. So thank you so much for joining in. If you guys like to share this video, like the video, share the video, like the video, hit that bell button on YouTube, and hit that like button on X. We are live only on X and on YouTube. I'm not going live on Facebook. There's a lot of difficulties with that platform. It is a snowflake platform. Really, it is. They took the live down yesterday. In the middle of the live, they took it down. They said that I was using the word for these organizations. As you guys know, what are they referencing to, and to Hamas and Hezbollah? What are they? And they completely shut the live feed down because I was using the word terrorist. Apparently that, glitch or that triggered the algorithm in Facebook, and they took immediately the live down. So, we're live right here in Jerusalem. This is one of the things that we have been commentating for 7 years now. Open borders, what happens with open border policies, the consequences of having an open border, the consequences of not having a border that is secure, the consequences of not having a border that has a filter. There's a lot of consequences because of that. There's massive consequences because of that. And the United States of America right now, it's seeing those kind of consequences. Why am I referencing that topic right now? Because of this, that it just happened. A Palestinian, that we're not too far away from Palestine, from Gaza. We're not too far away from the Gaza Strip, was arrested in the port of entry of Santa Teresa, New Mexico. He was entering the country illegally. Let's just say it like it is. For all these snowflakes, he was entering the country illegally. Why he was hiding, and a lot of this situation, we're gonna talk about several topics. We're gonna talk about also 2 Palestinian terrorists that they were gunmen. They were shut down. They were neutralized. Also, we're gonna talk about the 19,000 rockets that they have sent since October 7 till now. It's an exacerbated, it's just incredible quantity of rockets, missiles, and drones that they have been sent since October 7. But this is what's going on. So you have an open border. We have seen this in the Darien Gap. I have walked the Darien Gap 4 times, documented and did coverage of more than 11 caravans. And I have seen how these infiltrated individuals, they infiltrate in the most, you can say, vulnerable people. That they're walking, that they're intending to go to the United States for a better job, better opportunity. These people, they hide under these large groups. And the Darien Gap we encountered, I remember I think it was the 3rd time, we saw 2 Afghan pilots. And one of the Afghans was working for the United Nations, and he was complaining about the United Nations that they were not even helping him. That's the crazy part. One of the Afghans that it was migrating through the Darien Gap was complaining that he was not even being helped by the United Nations. So this happened in Santa Teresa port of entry. And this is the story. I will just play the video for you guys to understand how aggravating this is, and how I have said this multiple times before. And it is not creating hysteria. It is not fear mongering. It is not white supremacy like all these snowflakes they say. It is the reality. How many of these individuals have already or are already in the United States of America? I remember in a caravan that I was walking and documenting, I just, hit that bell to everybody in the United States to know El Tren de Aragua, the most violent gang in Venezuela, it's coming infiltrated in this large group. And everybody, I remember that I was in Bannon in the war room, and Bannon was telling me, what is the Tren de Aragua, Oscar? So I had to explain to him. I said, it's a gang, it's a violent gang, it's a cartel gang, it's a sicario gang that dedicates themselves to basically kidnap, ransom, distribution of drugs, everything that you can say in like a RICO act. That is the Tren de Aragua, and they operate from a prison inside of Venezuela. He was completely in shock. It was like, those kind of people are coming. Yes. And even I had a video of one of them threatening the National Guard officer of Mexico with a knife and saying on camera, as I was recording him, saying, if there's not going to be no papers, blood is going to be shed on this soil. It's incredible. These kind of individuals have been infiltrated in the United States of America. I've never seen, and I have said this multiple times, and quote me on this, there has never been a worse time for the United States of America to be most vulnerable and to be attacked by within. Why? Because I see a lot of good people that they have migrated incorrectly, illegally, illicitly, however you want to call it. But I've seen good people, and that doesn't make it okay. It makes it completely wrong. I'm just saying the individuals. But in terms to the people that they are bad, I have also seen bad people. And this is the kind of bad people that the Biden administration has allowed. And we're not too far away from Palestine. We're not too far away from the Gaza Strip. This guy is in a terrorist watch list. And apparently he had a background with explosives and guns. So it's a bad guy. These kind of people you don't want in the United States of America to be arriving. And it is so easy now to just walk through a place, lift your hands, and just say asylum, refugee, asylum. And the Border Patrol has become the Uber of the basically of the whole transportation. They have become a transportation unit. They don't exercise their law and their what they need to be exercising, the actual arrest and detain. Why they don't do that? Because now every individual that crosses the border, it is not illegal entry. It is a process of asylum. This is why all the liberals in this progressive mercenary, laws, they are removing the term illegal to make it irregular. And this, it denigrates and it decreases the aggravated felony of crossing illegally into the United States of America. So listen to this video, and then I will scroll down so you guys can see what individual I'm talking about. I think I got stuck there. Let me see what's going on. Okay, here we go. I think I got stuck there for 1 second. I apologize for that. Here we go. Pause that. Let me pause that. This is so important right here. This is so important. So his name, and I will read his name. Let me just go back to the link so we can just be on track of everything. And this is so important that what is just put right here. What is just put right here, it is extremely important for everybody to understand. Why? So his name is Omar Shahada, 35-year-old. They don't know the affiliation to whatever terrorist group. They don't know anything about it. But he started traveling from where? Look where he started traveling to. He started traveling to Spain on July 2024. Then he traveled to Colombia. Why he traveled to Colombia? to get to Necoclí. From Necoclí, they travel to Panama. What part of Panama? The part that we have been 4 times. That is the Darien Gap. He possibly crossed the Darien jungle, infiltrated, and then made pass as, I'm a nice guy. I'm suffering. I'm going through this horrible situation in the Darien, trying to survive, trying to escape some situation that he did, possibly in Palestine. There's no affiliation to Hamas or to Hezbollah. There's no affiliation to no terrorist group until now. But he is assigned as a potential terrorist in the terrorist watch list. So he traveled to Colombia and from Panama to El Salvador, and from El Salvador, moving on, as all the migrants do. This is the route that we have been in. This is the aggravated thing. This is why the Panamanian president right now, it is the only one that has the pants down and is the only one that is pulling, he has the pants on, and the only one that he really is doing his job to basically say, you know what, I'm shutting this down. I'm just going to completely shut this down, control this, and just make one route so I can know who's coming in and who's coming out. And these are the kind of people that are arriving to your border. These are the kind of people that are possibly already in your country. And these are the routes that we have already said multiple times. Now we're going to talk about Chinese migrants that use from Turkey to Quito to Colombia, from Colombia again, Panama, la that. We're talking about this potential terrorist watch list individual who is from Palestine. I'm in Jerusalem. It's not too far away from here. The guy fled possibly Palestine. I don't know how he got into Spain. He traveled into Spain. From Spain, made his way to Colombia. From Colombia to Panama, El Salvador, and so on. This is the dangerous thing about it. And these are the kind of people that they are being let in with open border policies. What are the open border policies, people? None other than the Global Compact on Migration. It's none other than that. Let me just put the last seconds of this video so you guys can see it. Says his arrest comes just weeks after 3 suspected Palestinian terrorists were caught in the California border. I actually reported on this. I actually did a massive report on this because it was on the part of almost Tijuana. And we saw these individuals as they were jumping the wall, trafficked by the cartel. Of course, they cannot jump. They cannot have authorization to jump the wall, and they cannot have access to jump the wall, even if you did not pay the cartel first. You have to pay the cartel first for order for you to, do that kind of situation. So this is, this comes related to what happened in California. Let's put the video again on. Says one had salacious photos on their phone, including a picture of a masked man holding an AK-47 rifle. Lastly, it said in 2023, U.S. Border Patrol warned agents about influx of Palestinians crossing the border following the October 7 Hamas attack. Of course, it was going to happen. And of course, it started happening. And of course, we have the consequences now. So this is the aggravated thing about it. Let me just post this guy's picture. Let me just hold on right here 1 second. Go right here down. Here we are. This is the guy. You can go to the Washington Post and you can see actually the post. And you can see actually which is the guy that I'm talking about. So these are the kind of individuals that the United States is allowing with these open border policies. The Global Compact on Migration says that you need to migrate correctly, documented peacefully, and legally, and with a purpose. That is completely the opposite. It completely opens the border. And if you want to jump a wall and say, you know what, I'm a refugee, I'm running away from persecution, this, and that, you have to respect those human rights. This is why the NGOs are operating. There's, these proxies of the UN. There's these groups of the UN, however you want to call it, the Santa little helpers of the UN, of OIM, of the UNHCR. These people, they work underneath, the orders, and have the authority to work under the orders of these large international organizations because they have the ability to operate and to just be part of the enormous trafficking, enormous illicit activity. They know how the cartel is operating on the other side of Mexico. They know that this is causing a complete destabilization of the borders on the other side. They know that this is causing a war between cartels on the other side because they're fighting on who is going to pay more and who's going to own the territory where there's no wall, where there's no actual construction of the wall, where there's an open border gap. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So this is part of the situation now. Let's go back to what is actually happening right here in Jerusalem. And this article was released. Tomorrow we're going to be traveling some parts right here in Israel for you guys to be, attending, for you guys to be watching our live feeds later on this evening. So this is two Palestinian gunmen killed in an IDF drone strike near Nablus. One had been, let me just open up the article for you guys to see. And then you're going to see the pictures of these guys. So these kind of individuals are the ones that they have. The IDF has a potential strike because they know that they're extremely dangerous. So two Palestinian gunmen were killed in the IDF. The article was released by the Times of Israel. One of them says had been released from Israel jail in November hostage deal that actually, Chuck Holton reported on this. One of the youngest, it was a 17-year-old, I think so. It was an 18-year-old. Then later on, this 17-year-old, 18-year-old went back to being the active on this delinquent activity, and he was neutralized by the IDF later on. It looks like they never learned. And it says the IDF done a strike near Nablus. One has been released from Israel in November hostage deal with Hamas military escorts worshippers to Joseph Dooms in West Bank City. So these are the two individuals where they were taking and they were taken down. Let me see if I can just read the article. It says two Palestinian gunmen. Let me just put right here on the screen. Sorry about that. Before we go, buy me a coffee. It is right there, pinned in the chat. People, thank you so much for your support. I'm over here in Israel and Jerusalem. We're going to try to get you more reporting. We just started. I just landed a couple, one day ago, and we just immediately started working and immediately started giving you news from actually Jerusalem and getting the information firsthand. So buy me a coffee. It is right there. Completely appreciate your help, your donations, your contributions. It helped me get back home and also ultimately to be traveling more on the next incoming day. So it will help me a lot if you guys will help me to contribute and donate to my platform. So it says two Palestinian gunmen were killed in an IDF drone strike in the West Bank Balata camp near Nablus overnight. These two individuals. The IDF says that the gunmen had opened fire and hurled explosives and troops during a counterterrorism operation in the area. The slain Palestinians are named as Ahmad Sheikh Khalil and Wael Mashah. Mashah had been jailed by Israel previously. He was released in November amid a hostage deal with Hamas, in which Israel released Palestinian terror convicts and detainees, mostly from the West Bank, in exchange for Israel civilians abducted by the terror group on October 7th, which I wanted to go and say to this. And why am I bringing this up? These are the kind of individuals that the progressive, mercenary, activist, liberal defend in the United States of America. These kind of individuals, that they were released, given an opportunity again to go and do your life, possibly to just go back and just say, you know what, I'm out, man, I'm out. I'm not doing this ever again. But no, they go back to the terror activity, and you do wrong, things go wrong, man. You stay in the dirt, you're going to be in the dirt. And this is what happened to these, and they're young. Look at them. They're really young. What are they? They're in their 20s. And these are the kind of people that these individuals in the United States of America they look up to. And you have seen the protests in the United States of America, people wearing these kind of bandanas in their head. College kids wearing the whole attire with the flag of Hamas. It's unbelievable. Incredible what they're doing. Incredible. It's a disgrace to the United States of America what they're doing. This youth, what they're doing. And these are the kind of individuals that they look up to. These individuals will do harm. They're made to do harm. They're made to attack. I'm sorry, this is the way it is. It's not hatred. It is not creating violence. It's not creating hysteria. It is the reality. It's like me talking about people that they work for, they're active in the cartel. They're sicarios. How am I going to say, oh, you know what? They're good. They're good people. Possibly they're just doing their job because they don't have nothing else to do. Get the hell out of here, man. It's ridiculous, your argument. It's extremely ridiculous, your argument. So I just wanted to bring this up to let everybody know what kind of situations are currently every day happening. Now, phew, this has been, I did a live hit today with Real America's Voice News. What I talked about, it is that on the northern part of Israel, it is continually being attacked. And I asked Chuck about this, and he said, that's normal, Oscar. You know, that's completely normal. Why am I saying that what he was saying that it was normal? Because I said 30 rockets were attacked the other day, like 2 to 3 days ago, on the 12th of August, to be more exact. And they threw 30 rockets from Lebanon, Hezbollah, into the northern parts of Israel. And, you know, that's normal. That's a normal day. Then today, IDF reported that they threw another 30 rockets into the parts of Galilee. Amazing. The majority of them, they were taken down by the protection glove. One of them got in and hit a random, rural area where there was nothing. But this is the continuous attacks. This is the ceasefire situation, which, the progressives in the United States of America, they're talking so bluntly about. Ceasefire, yeah, 30 every day. 30. Over 19,000 rockets and drones and missiles from October 7th till now. Ceasefire, yeah. Yeah. I've asked this question so many times. I've asked this question like, okay, let's pretend and let's give a hypothetical example that, Israel says, I'm a ceasefire. Hamas and Hezbollah are going to do exactly the same thing. They're showing to you right now that they're not. 30 rockets today that the IDF took down. So I'm going to put this video on screen. This is another thing that happened today. Excuse me. Let me just read about it. And you just open the screen right here. This happened at 2:10 p.m. today. Let me read before I play the video. It says more than 25 rockets and suspected drone were launched by Hezbollah at northern Israel in the past hour, according to the IDF. At around 2:10 p.m., a suspected drone that entered Israel airspace from Lebanon was shut down over the Golan Heights. The military says sirens had sounded the area and aimed incident. A short while later, the IDF says 5 rockets launched from Lebanon struck open areas near Kibbutz, Shamir, and the Upper Galilee. This is what I was reporting at. At 2:29, a barrage of 20 more rockets were launched from Lebanon to Galilee Panhandle area, with the IDF saying most were shut down by the air defenses and others struck open areas. That there were no injuries in this attack. So this was actually another operation which it was done. It's another operation which it was done. Let me just click right here. And also, this goes where the IDF confirms carrying out an airstrike in South Lebanon in Marjajon earlier this evening, killing 2 Hezbollah operatives. The strike was carried out by a drone. Separately fired jets struck a building used by Hezbollah in Aita Ashav. The IDF adds, meanwhile, a barrage of rockets was fired from Lebanon into the area of Kiryat Shimona, which I was there last year. This evening, the IDF says the rockets struck open areas and there were no reports of injuries. This is the video. Boom. There you go. We're talking about recent activity. So you're throwing 30 rockets, 30 missiles every day from Lebanon into the northern Israel part. 30 rockets, 30 every day, 30, 30, 30. And meanwhile, you got all these people that they're protesting continuously in the United States of America. And the men, my God, for God's sake, they're shut down. You cannot even have a dialogue with these people. But this is actually the situation which is happening right now. 30 every day. This is normal for the people that they live over there. For God's sake, how can you live your life? For everybody that is watching, how can you live your life as normal as possible? Live your life as normal as possible with 30 rockets every day or missiles coming into your home. drones. How can you live your life like that? Jeez. And this comes with this that I basically I shared today at Real America's Voice News in the hit that I did, and I mentioned it yesterday, and it has to do with everything that it has to be said, and the actual situation which actually Israel is going through. This right here, and I'm gonna close the live feed today with this, and I'm gonna just listen to your commentary and answer a couple of questions if you guys want to ask me a question or whatever you want to ask. Over 19,000 rockets fired into Israel since start of the war, IDF says. Jeez, 19,000. Thank you so much. See you too. To donate, click on his channel picture and scroll down. Yes, the Buy Me a Coffee link is right there, pinned on the chat. Thank you so much, people. Thank you. Even though we'll read your donations right here, we'll read it on the live. If you guys donated a coffee, I'll read it on the live right now. So 19,000. Now, by what it's happened in northern Israel and how they have been, in a way, I can say, controlling the Gaza Strip, as IDF has gone in there, controlled some of the areas, has completely, decreased the aggressiveness of activity in some places. But still, Hamas is alive, and still they're attacking. But this is proof of the quantities of rockets, missiles, and drones. Nobody talks about that. No. I don't know why you want to talk about that. Why? Hamas and Hezbollah are using children. They're going to parks and they're going to places where there's children, where there's women. They're shooting their missiles from there. No. Don't talk about that. No, you're a Zionist. That's what you are. When you're talking about that, you're a Zionist. You're a horrible person. No, how dare you? It's like, wait a minute. Are you defending Hamas? Are you defending Hezbollah? No, I'm not. But how dare you? How dare you say that? There's proof. Hamas is launching missiles and rockets from tents that they are owned by the UN, and those tents are made for people to be refuge, or people to hide there, or people to have a place to just stay the night. No, how dare you? You're a Zionist. And it's a reality. This is the quantity, 19,000 rockets. It's just amazing. Incredible, the quantity. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. It is 12:48 right now at night. I'm going to do a hit right now at 1:30 in the morning, my time. I'm kind of tired. I'm not going to lie. I had this is the first time that I have a lot of jet lag. And I have been, completely off and on, like, what the hell is going on? It's 3:00 in the evening. And sometimes I think, like, why am I sleepy? And it's because it's almost 3:00 in the morning or 12:00 at night in my home. So this is one of the things that, it's amazing to talk about. It's a beautiful experience. Today, I had a beautiful experience. I'm going to let you just know what happened today. I went to get some tacos today to Jerusalem. Chuck was doing his live, and I said, he told me, hey, there's a store right here. Use my GPS. Go over there and pick some tacos up, and we can eat some tacos. So there's a store right here close to where we're staying at. There's not a store. It's a business. He sells tacos. And I received a message like a couple of days ago from a guy on my Instagram saying, I respect you a lot. Will you come and visit my business? And I said, who's this guy? And he said, oh, you know what? I own a taco shop over here. I'm like, really? I said, well, send me your location. He sent the name of the location, but I said, I'll go during the week when I have time. So Chuck sent me to this place. I arrived to the place after I walked, and it's beautiful to walk in Jerusalem late at night. I'm gonna tell you something. The streets in Jerusalem are extremely clean. There's no graffiti, and I haven't seen one homeless guy. One homeless person I have not seen. Nobody sleeping on the streets. Nobody sleeping on the streets. And I'm being honest with you guys. I have not seen till now, not even one person sleeping on the streets. They're beautiful. The streets are beautiful. The carving on the floor, it's just incredible. It's just the streets, the buildings, it's the history is just absolutely beautiful. So I was walking, I was enjoying me walking in Jerusalem. How, you know, when are you not going to enjoy just walking to the store? So I was walking towards there, got to the place, to the taco shop. Its name is Luis Tacos. The place was packed. Outside, it has a couple of like three, wooden tables with chairs and all that kind of stuff. It's a really small place. Went in there, and the guy, as soon as I saw him, he saw me, and I saw his picture, and I'm like, "You're the guy." And he told me, "Hey, you're the guy." And we started talking in Spanish. The guy's from Oaxaca. He's Mexican. And I said, paisano, how you doing? And he's like, paisano, how are you? And he gave me a big hug. Like, I admire you so much. And it was a great conversation to start. Great conversation. I saw his store, and, they had the Mexican music in there. And it was the atmosphere made me just feel so comfortable, like I was at home. Then I started talking to the people that he worked with. One of them was Colombian. He's from Colombia. The other one was from Yucatan. She was from Yucatan, a really nice lady from Yucatan, young. One of the beautiful states of our country of Mexico. Then in the kitchen, I go like, "Hey, where are you from?" And then one of them says, "I'm from Monterrey, Mexico." So and the other one was from the north of the country. And then the other one was from Madrid, Spain. I'm like, wow, you have a combo of people, combo. Then I talked to him and I said, like, "Hey, so what's going on? What are you doing over here?" He says, I started my business of tacos in the U.S. In the U.S., I started my business of tacos, but, I fell in love with my wife. Somebody donated a coffee. Thank you so much. Sarah bought me 5 coffees. Oh, my God. Thank you so much. Buy me a coffee is right there pinned in the chat. If you guys like to contribute, thank you. I will completely appreciate it to get back home and also to ultimately to be having, resources over here. Meanwhile, I'm over here. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sarah. So I was talking to them and he told me, Oscar, I married a woman from Israel. And I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. She said, like, yeah. So I had to move over here. So I left the States. He said, I started working since I was young. I wanted to put my own taco shop. And now I have like 3 businesses in Israel. And I had one in the United States still going, but I don't want it anymore. So I'm over here in Israel. Then I have 3 of them. So like he has become one of the successful migrants. This is where I'm going. It doesn't matter where you migrate, is the way that you are. It doesn't matter where you're going, is the way that you behave and the purpose that you're going with. And he made me feel so proud of him. Why? Because the purpose I have stood in front of hundreds of migrants and I have said, the American dream is not where you want to, is where God puts you. It's not where you want to, is where God puts you. God puts you to live your life in Panama, to live your life in Costa Rica, to live your life in Israel. He will put you there, and it will tell you, you can be successful here. These are the tools. Go ahead and do them. This Mexican guy, I just put up the story on Instagram about him, and he has become completely successful. He owns 3 taco shops over here in Israel. He's married, happily married. He has employees from our country. He's providing a job. He's providing a lifestyle in beautiful Jerusalem. He has a place, really one of the most beautiful centric places in Jerusalem. That is gorgeous to go over there. Is you go down, you go where we located, you go up right here half a block, and then you go left. Then is one of the most beautiful hotels that is the King David Hotel. That, by the way, it's $650 a night over there. Jesus, that's a normal room, luxury room. It goes by like $1,200, $1,300. Then you go walk down, and you go down directly, and then there's the plaza where it directs you to the Holy City. That's a beautiful plaza over there on the right. Then you go up a little bit, half a block, and that's his business. He's in the middle of the most gorgeous place. And I told him, I'm really proud of you. I don't know you, but you're a Mexican migrant that migrated to Israel, and he became so successful. This is the migration that we are educated upon. This is the migration that we were raised upon. This is the migration that we were educated from our parents upon. The migration of going to another country expecting for that country to not give you anything, for you to work your butt to get everything that you need, and to understand that you're going to start from zero, to work yourself up and to make that dream come true. That's migrating with a purpose. Not everybody giving you handouts and making you just an incompetent individual to think, oh, I got everything, so why should I work? Or this is the American dream, or this is, and it's his mind, this is the Israeli dream. But I am just, I was so proud of him when I hugged him, like he was like, hey, you know what? I'm so proud of you. You made 3 businesses in Israel without knowing the language. So he married his Israeli wife, and as I was looking him work, he knows Hebrew, and the amazing thing, the girl that she's from Yucatan, that's another state on the south border, in the south of the country of Mexico, next to Oaxaca, next to where he lives, next to the state that he's from. This girl learned it's fluent Hebrew. And I was talking to her, and I'm like, where are you from? Say, Yucatan. How do you know Hebrew? I just came with the dream to work in Jerusalem, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, that is not one of the most. Came with a dream that possibly can happen. It happened. So now I have to adjust myself to learn the language. That's the migration. And she prepared herself before coming into Israel. So she started studying the language. Then when she got here, she knew a little bit. And then she learned more and learned more and learned more. And it's just so unbelievable. I was so proud of him. The other guy, there was a Colombian guy that also knows Hebrew. He was attending the people. It's like he was telling like cuántos tacos quieres, how many tacos do you want, but in Hebrew. And I was just looking like, wow, man, this is making you proud as a migrant, as a Latino migrant, because the majority of them were from Latino countries. 3 of them from Mexico, 1 of them from South America, Colombia, and the other one from Spain. The one from Spain was a cook. It's the one that is preparing all the meat and all the stuff over there in the tortillas and everything. And then the guy from Monterrey also preparing the stuff and the tortillas and everything. It's a beautiful thing to see, beautiful thing to document that. I posted a little video about it in Instagram. It's in Spanish. I will clip the video and I will put it in captions, so I can show you guys how beautiful it is to tell the story, and to ultimately to see these kind of stories, because this is the kind of migration that nobody talks about. We always talk about the illegal migration, the bad migration, the migration that is always happening through horrible places. That is like the Darien Gap. People risk their lives, risk their children, risk their child of being raped, and also in Central America, using children as shields, crossing, fighting the National Guards, paying cartels to get to the border. This is another story. Another complexity of the story is the contrast is you can make your dreams happen whatever you are. We have a saying in Mexico: "El perico donde quieras verde." Perico, how do you say perico in English? The parrot. The parrot, everywhere it goes, is going to be green. Everywhere it stands, it is going to be green. What it means is that it doesn't matter where you are, you're always going to be the same. So you have to make it. And this guy just proved to me that, these beautiful stories, they make you so proud, and they make you remember how we used to migrate and with the purpose to migrate. He got married to an Israeli lady. He married her. There was no option but to come to Israel. So he said, I'll make it. Let's go. Came to Israel, possibly started from zero, started working his butt off, made 3 businesses, 3 stores of tacos. He has 3 businesses in Israel, in Jerusalem, without knowing the language. And he's a Mexican. And all his employees, he's also providing jobs for people that they want to have the experience. All these young kids that they were working under him, they were young, they were in their 20s. but it's the experience, of migrating. When you want to migrate, you just want to say, like, I don't think that I want to make it. I don't want to stay in Colombia like that guy, or I don't want to stay in Yucatan. There's no future for me here. Let me just look for a place that I can migrate. There's an opportunity, and you said, I can offer you a job, but you have to learn the language. And this is, there's a lot of difficulties for you to do this, but you want to accept the challenge. They accepted the challenge, and all of them, being taco people, that they prepare tacos and they work for a taco shop, all of them, they know how to speak Hebrew. Today we met, Chuck had an interview today with CBN Israel. He works for CBN, Christian Broadcasting Company, Christian Broadcasting Network, but also there's another CBN that's called CBN Israel. And we went to this place, really beautiful office, beautiful people, all of them. There was a guy that came down with the lady that interviewed Chuck. Really, big guy. Came down, say hello to us, really nice guy. And as I was walking with him, he told me, like, oh, you're from Mexico? And I'm like, yes. So he started speaking me in Spanish. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, you know Spanish? And he said, yes. I lived in Cancun for, I think he said 6 years, I think so. I'm like, what are you? Or 12 years. I don't even know how many years he lived in Cancun. I'm like, what? You lived in Cancun? Yes, I lived in Cancun. Lived in Cancun for so many years. I'm like, you live in a tropical paradise. So the guy learned how to speak English because he lived also in the United States of America. He learned how to speak Spanish because he lived in Mexico. He was born in Russia, so he knows how to speak Russian. And he's now living in Jerusalem, and he knows how to speak Hebrew. You have to be kidding me. I was like me and Chuck were like, whoa, man, this guy has an ability for language. That's impressive. And he was a really nice, kindest man. That's migration. Me, that I'm dedicated to the migration now that I'm right here in Jerusalem. I'm telling you these couple of stories that it has nothing to do with the war right now. But these are stories that I found myself, as I am documenting, or if I'm walking around, and you find these kind of stories, and they're really interesting because it's about how migration, needs to happen, and how we used to think about migration. Migration had a purpose. When you used to migrate, the purpose of the consequences of doing it wrong, and the consequences of doing it right. Hay mucha gente que aquí son español hablantes. Voy a programar un live en español para todos ustedes. Ahorita voy a subir un par de videos. Let me just tell the people in Spanish. Voy a subir un par de videos para toda la gente. Voy a hablar de las consecuencias de Israel. Es más, terminando este video, voy a hacer un video en español. ¿Qué les parece? Creo que tengo tiempo. Tengo un enlace a la 1. Es la 1 de la mañana, mi hermano. Ya es muy tarde. Sería mañana. Me disculpas. Mañana con mucho gusto lo hago. Es la 1 de la mañana acá. Y no te miento, mira. It's 1 o'clock in the morning over here. I'm not lying. 1:03. So buy me a coffee is right there, pin in the chat if you guys like to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund. Come on, people. So that was another impressive story. Really impressive, extremely impressive story of how, of how people are, the migration, how it needs to happen. You need to be prepared. First of all, you need to learn the language. This guy knows 4 languages. So he migrated to the States, from Russia to the States. He learned how to speak English. Then he migrated to Mexico. He learned how to speak Spanish. Then he migrated to Israel, and he learned how to speak Hebrew. Then he knew how to speak Russian. That is his number 1 language. So you have a person that has a diversity of languages. That makes you multitask talented. It's an advantage of every individual. It's like this Mexican that I just met over here, that he works at a taco shop. Beautiful. The experience was so beautiful that I was so surprised, and I feel so proud of him because the guy knows how to speak Spanish, English, and Hebrew. It's just amazing. And then after knowing how to speak Spanish, that is his first language, English, that is our second language, that's my second language, Hebrew, that is a really difficult language. On top of that, he made 3 businesses as a migrant in Jerusalem. As I have said multiple times in front of hundreds of migrants, I have said this. El sueño americano no es donde tú lo quieres, es donde Dios te pone. The American dream is not where you want to, it's where God puts you. And why I say that to them is because they have this brainwashed mentality that the United States of America is going to fix all your problems. That you arrive to the United States of America and there's a BMW right there, a 645, 650 BMW convertible. You have an apartment next to the beach. You have a great job that you're making 150, 250 a year. And you have a beautiful wife. And that's the life. Welcome, Juan. This is your car. This is your apartment. This is your beautiful wife. And this is the contract for your work. It doesn't work like that, man. It is not like that. And a lot of the individuals that they're migrating, they don't, that's a hypothetical example, but they think like that. They think that they're going to arrive. They're going to get an easy job where they're going to make a lot of money. Rent is not going to be that expensive because it's not expensive. Nobody told them about that. They want the car, but they don't know that they cannot have credit because they do not have credit because they're refugees. And ultimately, a lot of them, they cross illegally so that you cannot apply for credit. It's just, it's so different, the contrast of how you are brainwashing our people to be used as political pawns. This migration is just people being used for a political purpose. They're being used for political gain and votes. That's the only thing. Do you think Democrats are letting all these millions in just because they want to let millions in? No, they have a political purpose with it. And they're looking fast forwarding 10 years from now, reproduction, you know, the next generation of the Democrats. Look at the generation that is right now happening in the United States of America. Look at all these Marxists, communists, new young kids, Antifa, Hamas lovers, Hezbollah followers, Black Lives Matter, all these young kids that they're following that crowd. And it's sad to see. So this next generation, it is going, hopefully, and I pray to God that it doesn't fall into that, but this next generation is being railed into those kind of atmospheres. Why? Because it's the next generation of Democrats, next generation of voters. And ultimately, and in my mind, the Republican Party is, if it continues like this, there's not going to be no Republican Party. The only people that they're sustaining the Republican Party are the people that they remember the values that they were in the 30s, their 40s, and their 50s. That's it. How many, you know, you see a movement of young Republicans, but you don't see a movement of young Republicans like the progressive and the mercenary liberals in colleges that is just packed. It's just so dangerous to go to Harvard or to go to Stanford or to go to Yale and say, I'm a conservative Christian. It's like, oh my God, you are the devil. Get out of here. It's so wrong now. It's so wrong to go to a whatever college in the United States of America and being wearing the hat of the United States flag and like, how dare you, you white supremacists? It's upside down. And this is what I'm saying. Like the migration has, what they have allowed the Biden administration is with a purpose. It's not done just miraculously because they want to help millions. No. Stop with that crap. You know, you are talking to an intelligent Latino. You're not talking to somebody that doesn't know what you're doing. Because we were taught how to migrate. And this is a clear example. You have a Mexican national who migrated, got married to an Israeli lady, put in a great example, went into Jerusalem, learned the language, put 3 businesses, and learned how to do things. And also his message on the last part of the interview, he says, you know, let me just see if I can shoot the video right here. Let me see if I can shoot the video before it's 49 minutes. Let me see if I can shoot the video and I can translate. It's 3 minutes and 51 seconds. Let me see if I can shoot the video before I got a hit at 1:30 in the morning right now. See, and let me accept this and save the downloads. And let me see if I can put it up. If it goes in, I will put it up right now so you can see the video. And it's in Spanish. Possibly I can put it up later on in captions, but I want you to see it. And then later on, it will have the captions and it will be uploaded to Facebook and YouTube. Let me see if I can. 4:31. Let me see. Hold on right here. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. There we go. This is the restaurant. It's called Tacos Luis. So I will translate what I'm saying, and I will translate what he says. And this is in Israel. This is the taco shop that I'm talking about, and the guy that migrated. Oscar el Blue, señores, desde Israel. Y aquí están unos paisanos que trabajan en Israel. ¿Paisanos de dónde? De Oaxaca. De Oaxaca. Saying Oscar Blue, I'm here with my paisanos. Where are you from? He's saying I'm from Oaxaca. Acá está mi paisano de Oaxaca. ¿Dónde eres, men? Colombiano, papá. Colombiano. Tenemos un Where are you from? And he said, I'm Colombian. I'm from the greatest country. I'm from Colombia. And he's just making a joke. And I'm asking her, where are you from? And she's from Yucatan. I'm from Yucatan. Hear the language. They're speaking to clients as they're coming in. They're speaking to clients. And these people are Latinos. The majority are Mexican. You have one Colombian. But they're speaking the language of Hebrew. Listen. Yucatán, wow, de Yucatán, hermoso Yucatán. Uno regio y uno de España. Es lo bonito. You see, there's Hebrew people coming. There's Israel people coming in, and they're attending them in the language of Hebrew. And I'm not even. I noticed that when I turn around, but it's just amazing. Look, and I go to the kitchen because there's two individuals in the kitchen. Lo bonito donde me lo llego a topar a mi gente, me llego a topar a mi gente aquí en Jerusalén, en Israel. Lo bonito, ver dónde estás allá. ¿De qué? ¿De dónde eres? I said, where are you from? Where are you from? And he said, from Monterrey. I don't understand what he's saying. ¿De aquí? De Monterrey, a la madre de Monterrey. I'm from Monterrey. I'm from the north, from where I'm from. I'm from Monterrey. Con madre, ¿no? Con madre. ¿Y tú dónde eres? He said, I'm from Spain. I'm from Madrid. Madrid. And I'm just talking to him, and I'm saying, Madrid is one of my favorite soccer teams. Madrid, Real Madrid. And I said, hey, we just hired Mbappé. We just got Mbappé, that is the greatest player in the world. Y acaba de ignorarse con un trofeo y metió con un papá. Bonito, qué bonito esto. How beautiful is this? How beautiful is this? I'm saying. Ahorita vamos a preguntarle un poquito cómo inició este negocio. I'm just saying, I'm going to ask the owner how he started this business. I want to ask him how he started this business. ¿Cómo se empezó a hacer todo este? Miren nomás, el negocio es un negocio de tacos. Pueden escuchar la música. It's a business of tacos. You can actually hear the music I'm saying. Y ahorita les voy a poner todo lo bonito alrededor. And I'm just going to show you the whole beautiful, how beautiful it looks all around. Precioso esto, nuestra gente, mexicano, chingón, don. I'm saying this is the beautiful thing about it. Us Mexican people, we are chingones. It's an expression to say we are, we're badass people. It's an expression that we use. And I'm saying that proudly because he made it over here. Donde sea es chingón. Un mexicano chingón, donde sea chingón. Estamos aquí con un paisano. ¿Paisano, este es un negocio? I'm saying, paisano, this is your business? Mi negocio y ¿sí? Tengo otros dos socios más. Yes, this is my business, and I also have two other more. Y bueno, y pues acá dándole, hermano. No queda de... And my brother, we are over here. We're working over here. Pero ¿qué fue lo que a Israel? ¿Qué loco? ¿Por qué está acá? And I'm saying, how crazy is that? Why Israel? Why you moved to Israel?
Mi esposa es israelí, por eso es que estoy acá.
My wife is from Israel, so that's the reason why I'm over here.
Qué bonito, qué hermoso.
And I said, how beautiful is that?
Y te tocó fregarle hasta acá. Claro.
And it took you, now you're working over here. You're busting your butt to work over here. And he's saying, of course.
Pues también estuve en el Gabacho, en Estados Unidos.
And I also worked in the United States of America.
Sí. Estuve un tiempo y pues ya.
And I stayed there for a little bit.
Desde muy chavo vengo trabajando duro.
Since I was a really young kid, I started working really hard.
Mexicano donde quiera chingón. Abuelita, soy tu nieta.
And a Mexican wherever he makes it. And he said some well-known phrase that we use, to saying like, yes, we are hard workers.
Donde quiera trabajamos duro. Exacto. Y de donde sea y lo que sea, ¿eh?
And wherever a place of Mexican works hard, they work whatever they put us to work, we will do it.
Creo que el mexicano no le pone peros a nada.
The Mexican doesn't even say no to nothing. He will work.
Mándale saludos a toda la gente que se toda la banda. Les mando un fuerte abrazo desde Oaxaca.
I say hello to every single Mexican that's out there from Oaxaca.
Todo mucho amor desde acá de Israel.
With all love, all the way to Israel.
México lindo y querido, sin güero lejos de ti. Amén, amén.
La historia, un mexicano And I explained a little bit of the story. And I want you to see this last part of the video thing right here. And this is tacos. He also has tequila right there on the front counter. Right there, you see it on the counter. Beautiful. Jeez. This is migrating. This is the concept of migrating. This makes you feel proud of how us people, we need to migrate. How are the ways to do it? Possibly, I don't know his route, how his road, how he did it, how he got into it, how, I don't care. The way he's presented himself. As I'm here, I married an Israel wife. I had to move over here. I have not only one, I have 3 businesses. I'm a Mexican. I also provide jobs now. I provide jobs. I have my employees. I have one from Colombia. I have one from Yucatan. I have one from Monterrey. I have one from Spain. Beautiful. This video, I will upload it later on, have with captions. It makes me so proud of our people making it, legally in other countries and doing and putting an example. And these are the kind of videos that we need to put out there for people to see the beautiful thing about it. How's everybody doing? It is 56 minutes going in. I think that's about it. So it has been nice talking to you guys. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Buy me a coffee. It is right there, pinned in the chat. If you guys like to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund, buy me a coffee. It is right there. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we are going to be traveling since early in the morning. I have a hit right now in about 15 minutes. This is the way it is. You have to stay up late because in the other side of the world it's early. So there's no way to just describe the situation. This is the way it is. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Thank you so much. You guys have been really nice to me and always been. And like we always say, God's plan, it is our mission.